Hello everybody, thank you for coming to hang out with me today. If you've never been here before, my name is Emily. Welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be getting ready on camera and also having a chat about comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy. We know this, it is such a big part of our lives, and honestly, it's always going to be a part of our lives because, you know, we struggle as humans to be ourselves and not to compare ourselves to everyone else in the process. So rather than saying we're going to stop comparison, I think that is unrealistic. We are going to talk about ways that have helped me to try and cope with it. First of all though, I need to get ready. This is not a makeup beauty channel, by the way, but hey, this is just my daily morning routine and I wanted to chat with you while we do this. So firstly, I am going to put on some SPF to my face because I don't want to have heaps and heaps of wrinkles when I get old. A few is okay, but I want to protect my skin in the sun. I've been through many struggles with my skin, as I have talked about on this channel. But I've finally gotten to a point where I don't wear makeup all that often. I maybe wear it twice a week, or if I really need to pep myself up or I want to be well presented, have that little bit of extra confidence, and there is nothing wrong with that. After my SPF, I'm also going to put on a little bit of moisturizer. This smells divine and it just makes my skin feel so dewy. Is that the word the beauty gurus use? I don't know, we'll go with it. So anyway, we need to talk about comparison. And I think especially in your 20s and even all through life, there's some main ways that, or main areas of life that we compare ourselves to others. That is through the relationships that we have, through what we're doing, what we're achieving, so in our careers or at university, or we might compare ourselves to others with how much money we have. Gosh, there's so many ways, hey? How we look is a huge one. We often compare ourselves to people when we want what they have, right? And we know that that can be really dangerous because it just makes you feel depressed when you compare too much, because you start to focus on everything you don't have rather than everything that you do have. And often I think that comparison is a hint of what you would like to aim for in life, and just like jealousy, how that can actually be used as motivation. Why am I jealous of this person? Why am I comparing myself to them? How can I go after my dreams and my goals, because chances are they might relate to what they have. So that's been, you know, a motivator to look at it through a different lens. I'm just putting some primer onto my face so that my makeup stays on better throughout the day. Also, apologies if I'm looking to the side. I'm looking at the mirror that I have set up. I'm not trying to ignore you. Comparison can come up every single day, and it's not just celebrities that we compare ourselves to or influencers. It can also be friends and family, the closest people in our lives, which is sometimes really hard because you're still comparing even though you know all the challenges that they're going through. I also want to share a few Bible verses during this video. So the first verse is Galatians 1 verse 10 from the ESV version. For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I was still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of Christ. Man, I don't know about you, but I have really struggled with people pleasing. It can be really hard to focus on what I have been given, the gifts and talents that God has given me, and to please Him above everyone else. Rather than doing things to impress the world, I want to impress God. Like, I shouldn't be comparing myself to everyone else, but comparing myself to what God has placed inside of me and if I am using that well. I did wash my hair this morning. This is what it looks like when I get out of the shower. It's dried a little bit, but I'm just putting some argan oil into my hair to keep it silky smooth and hold the curls together a little bit better. I'm really basic with my hair routine, honestly. I use shampoo and conditioner and I use oil and I let it dry, and that is all I do. I want to tell you a story. The other day I was working at a music festival and I was working with this girl. She was gorgeous and we were literally serving hot dogs and hot chips, And this lady came up to the stall and looked at her and said, "You are way too beautiful to be working at this hot dog stand." And you know what? Maybe I tend to agree. She was gorgeous, both inside and out, and we got along really, really well. And I thought, oh, that's such a nice comment. But then quite a few people throughout the day came up to her and started saying the same thing. Like, wow, you're so beautiful, you're so gorgeous. I'd say about like probably 10 people told her this. I was happy for her, but I'm not going to lie, by like the third or fourth time, I was starting to feel so down and feeling sorry for myself. Why isn't anyone looking at me and saying that I'm beautiful? That why am I working at the hot dog stand? And it just made me feel really crappy, and I started comparing myself to her and thinking, what does she have that I don't have? How can I get those compliments? And it really got to me, and I just had a point where I had to think, okay, this is what I've been training for. This is what God tells us and reminds us all the time, that we are made in His image. So when everyone started to come up and say these things to her, I just took a deep breath and prayed, Lord God, remind me that I am made in your image. I am beautiful the way that you have made me. And just repeat that over in my mind over and over again. And I think being armed with, you know, those positive mantras or sayings or affirmations can be really helpful. All right, I am just going to apply some concealer under my eyes and on my redness, because there's a lot of that on my face. This concealer is amazing. I feel like it makes such a difference. It's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. I heard about this so much in like the 2013 days when I watched all the beauty gurus, and they were not lying. It is really, really good. So yeah, anyway, I'm sure you can all relate to being in a situation where you've just automatically gone to compare yourself to someone. It was just a big reminder to speak positively to myself rather than automatically speaking negatively, and, you know, recognizing this is the way that I'm feeling and it sucks, but I'm going to make the decision right now to start speaking words of life over myself and praying for God to give me the strength to see me how He sees me. Okay, I'm now doing some powder. I use Nude by Nature. I've used this for years. I don't really use any type of liquid foundation at all. This does the job for me. I think another big way to curb comparison as well is just to surround yourself with people that lift you up and that encourage you and that, you know, remind you of your strengths, and that you remind them of their strengths as well. Because I think you don't want to be competing with the people closest in your life. You want to be able to look at your friends and be like, wow, you're amazing. And you want to have friendships where they say the same thing back to you as well, because you just admire each other for who you are as individuals. All right, so I've put my powder on. It's really just enough to even out my skin tone a little bit more. It's still very, very light foundation, which I am happy about. I don't like the feeling of something heavy on my skin. Like as a kid, I hated getting my face painted because it just felt so disgusting. I want to share with you another Bible verse, which is Philippians 2 verse 3. It says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves." When I look at comparison, I think the root of the issue is really selfishness and pride. And I'm not saying this to make you feel bad that you have compared yourself to others, because as I said in this video, I do it every day and I have to really learn to approach it in a better manner. But at the core of it, I really think it's about caring way too much about how others view your own life and how you feel behind. You feel like you're not married yet. You feel like you haven't bought a house yet. You feel like you don't have that career yet. And that really comes down to pride. And I struggle with it on a daily basis. But I think it's attacking that root issue and just, again, reminding myself that I am where God wants me to be. And if I want to use some of that jealousy as motivation to go do great things, then amazing, you know, flip it on its head, make it become something positive. Okay, so next step is to fix my eyebrows, because I wasn't born with the best looking eyebrows and I would love to spend money to get them done more often, but I'm a uni student and your girl doesn't have that money, so it's not gonna happen. So I just use this eyebrow pencil thing to like fill them in a little bit so they're not looking so sparse. See, you can see the difference. But really not that hardcore. I like to keep things pretty natural. Another area of comparison I've personally struggled with is seeing some of my closest friends get married. And I'm like, guys, I haven't even like been in a serious relationship yet. Can you slow down? And that comment in and of itself comes from a place of feeling not good enough, not worthy enough. But I'm like, no, I've done epic things over the past few years since I graduated school, and I have no regrets about that. God has taken me to some amazing places, and I've, you know, had some incredible experiences. And then I come home and I'm like, whoa, everyone's married and it's all happened so fast and I'm not there yet, and that's okay. How boring would it be if everybody had the same timeline? That would just suck. It would take, you know, all the value and uniqueness out of humanity. It's incredible that we're all made with different interests and hobbies and desires and goals. Like, that in itself is a miracle, and it proves to me that God's plan is good and that He has designed us to all be different for a reason. I didn't mean to get into motivational speaker mode, but it's true. Finally, I'm going to do some mascara. I use my lash curler, and then I have been using the Maybelline Definer Lash for years. This mascara is so good, and I have trouble finding it sometimes, but I will buy it online. I will do what I need to source this because I have quite stumpy eyelashes. So it's nice to find one that gives it a little bit of a lift, you know? Oh. I always get so nervous when I do this. I feel like I'm gonna clip my eyelid or something. Oh, this is not working out too good today. I don't usually do my makeup in this spot, so I'm like looking right into the sunlight, and it is quite intense. Okay, my mascara is done. This is all I do for my makeup, guys, and then I put some lip balm onto my lips, and my hair will dry eventually. It will dry soon, and voila! That's me done. Very simple, very basic. Without a camera on, it takes me like 5 minutes. I think the moral of the story is to know that comparison is inevitable, and to stop yourself in that moment when it creeps in and starts to tell you lies and starts to make you doubt yourself and what you're doing, and just remind yourself that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that you are right where you need to be. You are doing amazing things. Honestly, anyone who has been through 2020 and is on the other side and can still crack a smile, you are doing a good job. I hope you have enjoyed this more chatty, chilled out video. Leave any other video requests in the comments or anything you would like prayer for. Also, don't forget to hit subscribe and thumbs up this video. It would mean a lot to me, and I will see you next time here on my channel.